Gabby from Make Life Your Runway, and I'm here with my 2020 Makeup Empties. We've been filling up this basket for the full year, and we're finally going to dive in and categorize how many mascaras, primers, foundations, concealers, all of that we have gone through. I did do this in 2019, and I believe I did it in 2018. So I'll have those videos linked down below if you want to compare it over the years. But I am so excited to tally this up and see what we've gone through. I was hoping we would go through more makeup, but I think just the climate of 2020, it was really hard to wear makeup every day when you're just sitting home half the year. So I think we did okay. Well, I hope we did okay. So I am going to put this on the floor. We're going to lay it out and go through it together. But before we do that, I do want to just talk about what's on my face for just a second, just in case you're curious. These are products from my latest weekly makeup basket, but I wanted to just kind of point out a couple of things. The highlight that you see is my beautiful Tribe highlighter from Tribe Highlighter 3 from Julia's Place. This is very similar to Cookie from Benefit, but like half the price. So we love that. My eyes, I pulled out a classic, y'all, Naked 3 by Urban Decay, my very first high-end palette, and I pulled it, and I love it, and I remember why I love it. I mean, I do get a lot of the same eye looks, like this eye look's pretty much my go-to for this palette, but I really like it. And then the lip that just actually matches really well, that wasn't planned, is from Color of the World, and the color is independent, and it looks dark in the container, but it's actually a really pretty like mauve color. So mauve's my favorite lip color. But anyways, I think it's time that we dive in. Alright, so here we go. This is a total of 43 products. Oh! So over here we have setting sprays, we have primers, and I use, well, I guess this is more like a concealer. Okay, primers, foundations, mascaras, always a lot of mascaras, lip products, powders. Then we have sponges that I've used, lip product, brow products, concealers, and then one eye product. So, okay, overview, not looking too bad. Typically, I go through a lot of setting sprays and a lot of primers and a lot of mascaras. And I think we're pretty much on trend there. Typically, I go through 4 to 6 foundations, so I'm pretty much on trend there. But I feel like in the past, I've gone through more like concealers, I want to say, and maybe setting powders. But overall, I think this is quite a bit of makeup to work through. So let's go through each category. Okay, first up, we have setting sprays. So this is the Urban Decay All Nighter. It is one of my favorite sprays, but this little sample bottle, I've refilled it a couple of times, but it's so small that I go through it in like 3 makeup looks, maybe 4. So it's not a reliable bottle if you're going out of town, just, you know, for like a week or whatever. I've had it for so long. Obviously, I haven't gone on any trips this year, but in the past, I had to always take a backup anyways because that little bottle wasn't reliable. So we're just going to go ahead and be done with it. The L'Oreal Shake and Glow Dew Mist Spray. I don't like the nozzle on this, so I poured it into a Wet n Wild spray bottle that I had used the product up and just kept the bottle. And having it in that bottle. I absolutely love the product. So definitely something I would think about repurchasing in the future, but just knowing I'd have to put it into a different container. This is the Flower Beauty Seal the Deal Hydrating Setting Spray, a dewy finish. A couple of years ago, I was really interested to try some Flower Beauty products, and there wasn't anything that I got from that haul a couple of years ago that I loved. So this year has just been a matter of finishing up those products, this being one. Didn't love it, wouldn't repurchase it, felt a little tortured having to use it. I just don't think it did anything, and there's actually a lot of product in there, which is great, but not when you don't love the product. The NYX Dewy Finish Spray, I really love this one. It's a really affordable price. It's one of those products that's almost too easy to use because you just enjoy it so much, and it just adds like just a very slight dew, not too bad. I might actually keep the bottle to refill with other products that I don't like the spray. Like if I got the L'Oreal Lumi again, this would be a great bottle to throw it in because it has such a beautiful nozzle on it. But I did really like the product. I just feel like I went through it really fast, which is great for a video like this, but not great for the bank account. And then the last one is the MAC Prep and Prime. This is the Classic Fix Plus. I had gotten this years ago from an Ulta 21 Days of Beauty just because of the hype around it. And I would say I liked it. I didn't love it. Urban Decay and the Milani Make It Last spray, those are my all-time favorite sprays. So I think those two would come over the MAC one anytime. But if the MAC one was on sale and I was kind of in the market for a spray, I wouldn't mind having it again. I know it's like a classic for a lot of people. So those are everything for setting sprays. We have 5 total. We'll just count that little guy, and I think that's okay. Okay, I'm really proud of this primer lineup as far as finished products go. 2020 was a year of me changing my thoughts on makeup, and I've talked about it all throughout the year, but if you're curious about like a dedicated video to it, I'd be happy to put all my thoughts in one place. How I went from buying makeup almost every day, at least every week, to being able to go 3 to 4 months at a time. My thoughts on Project Pan have changed. Just my thoughts on makeup usage in general change. I still love makeup and I still want to own a lot of makeup, but I've just kind of changed a lot of my mindset around it. So let me know in the comments below if you want like a dedicated video, and I can really like break down those thoughts for you guys. But as far as primers are something I've learned I just like to use one at a time. I also feel that way about foundations and concealers. So I really focused on trying to get through primers in my collection, and I still have quite a few, and you'll see that whenever I post my 20 and 21, there it is, Project Pan, annual Project Pan, and I still have to conclude 2020. But I just really want to use up all my primers and then, you know, just purchase one at a time. So this was my first attempt at trying to use up all my primers. I didn't hit a home run, but we did pretty good. So I mentioned that Flower Beauty, I had tried a few things in their line just to see how I felt about it. So this is the Flower Beauty and Your Prime Illuminating Primer. Didn't love it. I felt a little tortured using it, but we used it up. We know how we feel about it. We're moving on. Smashbox Primerizer. This was something that was hyped on YouTube a few years back. Just like the MAC setting spray, I got it from an Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale. It sat in my collection for a long time, and then I just threw it in this a Project Pan this year to get through it. I did like it. I didn't love it as much as the hype around it, but I thought it was nice. And I would buy it on sale if I was looking for a primer, but not something I feel like I need to run out and repurchase. I really love the First Aid Beauty Coconut Skin Smoothing Primer. I just counted this as one because it's 2 samples. But it's one of my favorites. It's kind of a beautiful blend of moisturizer and illuminating primer. I just really love it. I've gone through a lot of sample sizes of it. I don't know that I've ever purchased a full size to use up, but I love that product, and yeah, I would definitely purchase it in the future. Catrice Prime and Fine Fresh It Up. This is an Aqua Fresh Hydro Primer. So it's a like blue hydrating type of texture, and I did really like it. I found that it played well with other products. It's kind of like one of those best friend products where it sat well regardless of what you put on top of it. So I would really repurchase it, and I would really consider doing like a Catrice buy one get one half off, where I got this and then I got their setting spray. I haven't had that setting spray since last year when I finished it up, but that's definitely something in the future I could see myself purchasing. The L'Oreal Lumi Lotion in Fair. You guys, especially the last part of 2020, we rode hard with this product. I love it. It's kind of one of those products that I find hard to work into my routine because it is okay to use on itself, but it's super glowy. So if you wear a lot of glowy foundations like I do, it's too much to layer a really glowy primer on top of a really glowy foundation. So I found myself just kind of spot highlighting a lot of times with it, like the tops of my face. And it was good. I really liked it. I don't know that I would go out and repurchase it, but it was good enough to like recommend and try it again down the road. Super Glow Screen SPF 40. This is an SPF moisturizer, but it's also a beautiful makeup primer. You really don't need a primer on top of it. It's just really nice. This was a hyped product this year, and I wanted to try it, and I did, and I really liked it. The price point holds me back on like always repurchasing it, but again, if I saw it on sale, I would definitely jump on it, or maybe even this summer, just think about going ahead and repurchasing it. I loved it. It didn't break out my skin. It sat well by itself on my face. It sat well under makeup. I just had literally no problems with it. And then this was a favorite of mine, the Ole Henriksen Truth Banana Bright Face Primer. It was sent to me for free for review from influencer. I wore it on my wedding day like a year and some months ago, and I didn't want to get rid of it, but I just thought that maybe it was too old, and I would have rather worked through it to get rid of it instead of just tossing it. So I think we did really well on the primers this year, and I didn't get through all of my primer collection, but I would say we got through half of it. I think half is a fair assessment. Hold the phone. We had some empties in my empty bin, so that makes 45 products total. One we'll talk about as we go through the foundations, but the other is a setting spray. So we have a 6 setting spray. This is the Milani Make It Dewy setting spray. I like the Make It Last, so I thought I would try the Make It Dewy. The nozzle was broken, so I transferred it into a different container, and I just don't like this formula of setting spray. I have one from Maybelline that's very similar. It's their glass spray. It's just like a grease that sits over your face, so you kind of have to use a really light hand using it. Didn't love it, but we worked through it. So love that. More to add to our little collection. Okay, so here we are with our foundation. So I was like, wait, I think I finished one that is not here, and I did. So we grabbed it out. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 foundations that we went through. That's pretty much average of what I can realistically get through. Most of these are not completely full at the beginning of the year. A lot of them are like halfway full, and I just finish them off one by one. I love a lot of these, and I would totally repurchase most of them. So we'll talk about it. The first is the Wet n Wild Cushion Foundation SPF 15. Mine is light ivory. This was nice. It's a very light coverage. It has a lot of dew to it, and it plays well with other products. Not something I would repurchase. I find there's not a lot of product in there, and it's just not the most convenient to use. But I did enjoy trying it out because there was a lot of hype around it when I picked it up a couple years ago. Lancome's Skin Feels Good. This is a really nice product. The color wasn't great for me. I had 01N Nude Vanilla. But it's another beautiful product similar to Wet n Wild, where it's a very light coverage, but it's very dewy, and your skin just looks really healthy when you use it. It plays well with all other products as well. I really prefer to be in the medium coverage realm, so I don't know that I would repurchase that, but I did enjoy my journey with it. Next up is Physicians Formula The Healthy Skin Foundation. It's kind of like unclear. Some people say it's discontinued. Some say it's not. I can't find it anywhere. But I loved this foundation. You could build it up to be a light medium coverage, and the color was beautiful. It added this beautiful glow to your skin. I had mine in color LC1. And I didn't mind like this wand applicator. These don't really bother me that much. Beautiful packaging. It's a little bit pricier than drugstore foundation, but not horrible. I just don't get why such beautiful products get discontinued. A lot of people talk about a smell with that one. I think a little smells there, but I don't think it's anything bad. So I would repurchase that one if it were still available, or if I could find my color. Next up, we have Mary Kay CC Cream, and I had tried this one in very light. So I used to not be into makeup prior to YouTube prior to watching YouTube and then getting on YouTube about 6 or 7 years ago. And so this would be what I wore if I wore any type of foundation. And it's funny, at that time it felt like a high coverage foundation to me, and I repurchased it a couple of years ago from a girlfriend who was selling Mary Kay, and I wore it. It is like no coverage. It's just funny how your tastes change. So Mary Kay is hard to get a hold of unless you know someone selling it, and you know it's not really convenient to go purchase for them. Although I think you can order online at this point. But anyways, and the coverage is too light, so it's not something I foresee myself repurchasing, but it was kind of cool walking down memory lane. My all-time favorite foundation are the next two we're going to talk about. The L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow. This color 202 Creamy Natural is my perfect color. Love it. It just like melts into my skin, and it just looks so beautiful. And it has like a slight glow, but it's not like greasy or sweaty looking. It's just, I absolutely love it. It's killing me that I don't have this in my collection right now, but I'm trying to buy less of certain categories. And foundation's one, because I have so many foundations right now. So I'm going to be strong and not purchase it for a little while, but I love it. I miss it, and I will definitely be going back to it at some point. Same with the Your Skin But Better CC Plus SPF 50, and this one is in Fair. I love this one so much. I always miss it when it's not in my collection, but because of the SPF, it has a pretty short time life, or lifespan I should say. So like I said, I want to go through some of my foundations, and when I repurchase these, I want to make sure I can use them right away and that they're not just kind of sitting in my collection getting old. The last thing is the Estee Lauder. This is the Double Wear Nude Cushion Stick, and mine is in 2W0 Warm Vanilla. That was an interesting product. I had purchased it because I wanted to try something from Estee Lauder, because I know the Double Wear foundation would be too heavy on my dry skin. But I wanted to try something from them, and I did really like it. It's a nice medium coverage. It's a nice kind of your skin finish, and it was a good color match. I just don't love the application. Like, you pull off this, and you can see it has a cushion, but the cushion came off and then got stuck in the lid. But you twist it up, and it just became kind of hard to use. But I did enjoy my journey with it. I just wouldn't repurchase it ever. But that is everything that we used up. Like I said, this is on par for what we do for foundations each year, but I'm glad that we're staying consistent and still continuing to use up makeup. Okay, I'm gonna go through mascaras pretty quickly, because I don't know, mascaras are so individual and personal preference that it just doesn't make sense to spend a lot of time talking about them. Pretty much all of these were either like a free gift with purchase, which is what these were, or my sister-in-law had got BoxyCharm and she canceled, but she would give me all the stuff that she didn't want from BoxyCharm, which was all of these mascaras, which she had given to me a year ago. So it took me a year to finish up all these mascaras, and I'm proud of myself. But let's go through them. Tarte Big Ego, cute hot pink packaging. Didn't really care for the actual product. I do enjoy the Too Faced Better Than Sex. Something that I would only buy on sale, but it was nice. The Butter London Power Up Mascara, not great. I think it was just okay. And then the Brow Bar mascara. This was really wet, and it's one of those ones I couldn't really control the wand, but it was fun to try it out. I love the Benefit Roller Lash, and again, I wouldn't buy it full price, but on sale, okay, why not? I really like that stuff. And then we had another Too Faced Better Than Sex, but this is just a little sample size, but it's the exact same as the bigger container. And then I find these little sample guys so hard to use just because of the packaging. If you open it up, the wand is so close to your hand that it's hard to get into each area. So I couldn't really give these a good try because I just found the packaging so frustrating. But I did get a few uses out of them, and I thought it was okay. Nothing stood out. I was really sad the Hourglass, the packaging was the worst for this sample. I'm sure the full size is fine, but like I just could not make that work. So I tried them. They're past their prime. We're moving on. I stick to a solid 3. Maybe I stretch 4 months if I absolutely love it. But mascaras, we don't play with. Okay, lip products are really hard for me to go through. I just kind of get bored with them, to be honest. But I love my Buxom lip glosses. And if you use them regular, they're pretty fun to pan. So I went through Dolly, which I have repurchased this color prior, or I've had it in smaller sizes. Sophia, again, another favorite of mine. Kat Von D Lolita. I bought this years and years and years ago because of the hype that used to be around it, and it finally died this year. It just smells bad, and I didn't finish it up, but I just thought we needed to have this closure together of getting rid of a YouTube cult classic. It hasn't been a classic in years, but it used to be, and that's when I purchased it, and let's say our farewells together. This NYX, This Is Everything lip oil. I didn't love this, but I'm proud of myself for finishing up. And the Laneige Grapefruit. I like this stuff. I don't think it's the greatest in terms of actually like hydrating your lips, but it feels good while you wear it. So lips are never a big category for me. I'm just glad that we have something in this category to share together. Setting powders, I would say I only go through a few a year because I rotate them so much. But we have the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder. I did really like this. I just thought it was a really easy to use product, set well over everything, wasn't too mattifying. It's really expensive, so it's not something I would repurchase anytime soon, but I did enjoy my journey with it, and I also wore that to set my makeup on my wedding day, so we love that about it as well. I'm proud of myself for the Maybelline Fit Me. This one is in Fair. I didn't think I would finish it. I thought it was just going to be something that I decluttered because it is too mattifying for my dry skin. So it just makes my skin look kind of like chalky and not its best. So I don't like it for that reason. And it took me a really long time to finish it up. But I'm glad we did. I'm so glad we did. But I'm proud of us, well me, for using it up. Not bad. I usually have more sponges to share with you guys. I think this one is Real Techniques. Sonia Kashuk, I'm finally done with both of them. That came in the 2-pack, would not recommend. And these are the Jeffree Star little minis. I feel like I have more, but I think I started like throwing them away through the year. And sometimes I would remember and save them. Sometimes I would just completely throw them out. So not as exciting of a category, but makeup sponges is my preferred way to do my makeup. Not a lot of eye products this year. I did not focus on panning a lot of powder products or eye products in general, so that's why you see mostly cream products here. But I did try a couple of new brow products. I tried the Maybelline Brow Fast Sculpt. I liked it. You can go 0 to 100 really fast with it, so you have to have a gentle hand, but for the price point, I thought it was good. The CoverGirl Easy Breezy Brow I thought was really good, especially for that price point. This Anastasia Brow Wiz had been hanging in my collection. You could see it had an accident at one point. The spoolie got broken off. This one was in taupe. This is another product that I got from the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty a while back, 2 years ago, maybe more. And I got it because of the hype around it, and I just thought it was okay. Stila, this was my last Magnificent Metal. This one is in Diamond Dust. It dried out, but I used a lot of it. Now that I've gone through 2 of those in my lifetime, they dry out so fast, I wouldn't spend another $24 on them. But I do love the product, and I like what it does. That price point is just dirty. Okay, it's just dirty, but there we go. Alright, and last are concealers. So we have 3 here, and typically I go through a lot more concealers, but I've just been rotating them a lot and not really focusing on finishing any particular one up. I think I kind of had burnt myself out on project panning in the last few years. That last year I took a little bit of a step back from it. I like it. I still love doing it. I still do it on my channel. It's not like something that I've given up or anything like that. But I did get a little burnt out from it. And I think that's kind of shown in this year's empties. But I think we still did okay. Like the project panning heart is still alive and well in me. So we used up the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector. It took me a long time to figure out my favorite way to use that. And a beauty blender is my preferred method, I've learned. But just like the L'Oreal Lumi, when we talked about it, it's kind of a step that's hard to integrate into my routine. Especially these days when I wear makeup, it's pretty light. Or if it's a little bit more glam like today, it's still not that many steps. I just went a little more heavy-handed on like the color choices. So I don't know, I like it, but it's just really hard to make it work in my collection as far as a step in the routine. We use the Wet n Wild concealer. This one is in their, what line is it? Photo Focus. I liked it. I think it's just a very solid standard concealer. The price point's great. I think it's great. I love it. Urban Decay Naked Skin. This was discontinued, but before it was discontinued, it was on sale at Sephora, so I wanted to try it again because I used to really like it. And it's funny, this time through, I thought it was just okay. I didn't love it as much as I did the first time. But it's discontinued, but in case you're wondering, light neutral is the color that I had gotten in it. This one is in the color Light Ivory, and this one's very special to me because when I was a counselor, one of my students gave it to me, and I thought that was really nice of her. So I'm glad that I got to, well, I'm happy to have received it as a gift. That was very kind, but I'm happy that I used it up and it didn't just go bad in my collection. And then we already talked about the back. That is 45 items that we have moved out of my collection. Woo! If you're curious, if you're new here and you're curious about my collection, during Vlogmas, I did a makeup inventory of my full collection. So I'll link that down below in case you're curious what my collection looks like after moving out all of these products. It's still pretty big. But I love finishing products. I would rather pass them along while they're still good or just finish them up. I really don't throw away a lot of products unless they're just have gotten too expired. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, like the video, do all the YouTube things, and we're just slowly spending this month wrapping up 2020. So we have the Makeup Empties here, we'll have the 2020 Project Pan finale, and then we'll have the 20 and 21 intro. So those are the next 2 videos coming up, as well as Makeup Basket every Friday. Weekly Makeup Basket. Alright guys, I hope you're well. Thank you so much for your time and watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!